Agent X stared out the spaceship window, his mind racing with the gravity of his mission. Swirls of purple and green gas painted the alien atmosphere, a mesmerizing yet ominous sight. His heart pounded in his chest, a constant reminder of the stakes. His mission: infiltrate and destroy. It was a simple directive, but the weight of it was anything but simple. Earth's last hope rested on his shoulders. The fate of humanity hinged on his success or failure. The Xylos, a seemingly utopian society, posed a silent threat. Their peace and prosperity masked a potential for unimaginable destruction. Their advanced technology, if turned hostile, could obliterate humanity. The thought of such power in the wrong hands was terrifying. His orders were clear, his resolve unshakable. Or at least that's what he kept telling himself. Doubts crept in, gnawing at the edges of his determination. Was he truly ready for this? Landing on Xylos was like stepping into a dream. The landscapes were surreal, almost too perfect to be real. Crystalline structures shimmered under the two suns, casting a magical glow over the alien city. The air hummed with an unfamiliar energy, a constant reminder that he was far from home. He was met by Lyra, the princess, her eyes wide with innocent curiosity. She seemed genuinely intrigued by him. Her beauty was otherworldly, ethereal. She moved with a grace that seemed almost supernatural. She welcomed him, a stranger, with open arms and a disarming smile. Her warmth was unexpected, and it threw him off balance. Doubt flickered in his mind. Could these truly be the actions of a species poised to destroy? Were these the actions of a species poised to destroy? The more time he spent on Xylos, the more his doubts grew. His doubts intensified as he spent time on Xylos. The people, their culture, their way of life, it all seemed so genuine, so peaceful. Lyra was his guide, showing him the wonders of her world. She took him to places that were breathtakingly beautiful, places that made him question everything. She was intelligent, compassionate, and full of life. Her passion for her people and her world was evident in every word she spoke. He found himself drawn to her, captivated by her stories and her laughter. She was unlike anyone he had ever met. His mission, once a beacon of purpose, now felt like a lead weight in his stomach. The clarity he once had was now clouded with doubt and confusion. Could he really be the harbinger of destruction to this world? To her, the thought of betraying her trust, of destroying everything she loved, was almost too much to bear. He stood at a crossroads, torn between duty and his growing feelings for Lyra. The path ahead was unclear, and the burden of his mission weighed heavily on his heart. As he looked out into the distance, he knew that whatever choice he made, it would change the course of his life and possibly the fate of two worlds forever. Princess Lyra was unlike anyone Agent X had ever encountered. She was a mystery wrapped in an enigma, a being so different yet so captivating that he couldn't help but be drawn to her. Her skin, a delicate shade of violet, shimmered faintly in the light of the twin suns. It was as if her very essence was woven from the fabric of the cosmos, a living testament to the beauty of the universe. Her eyes, large and silver, held a depth of wisdom that belied her youthful appearance. They seemed to see through the layers of reality, piercing the veil of time and space to reveal truths hidden from ordinary sight. She moved with an otherworldly grace, her every step a dance. It was as if she was in perfect harmony with the rhythms of the universe, her movements a symphony of elegance and poise. Her laugh, like the chime of celestial bells, could disarm even the most hardened heart. It was a sound that resonated with the very core of one's being, evoking a sense of joy and wonder that was impossible to resist. Lyra possessed an insatiable curiosity about Earth. She wanted to know everything, from the mundane to the profound, her questions a testament to her boundless thirst for knowledge. She bombarded Agent X with questions about human customs, art, and history. Her genuine interest was infectious, and he found himself eager to share his world with her. He found himself sharing details he never thought he would, drawn in by her genuine interest. He spoke of blue skies and vast oceans, of bustling cities and quiet countrysides, painting a vivid picture of Earth for her. He spoke of blue skies and vast oceans, of bustling cities and quiet countrysides. Each story he told seemed to bring their worlds closer together, bridging the gap between their vastly different existences. With each passing moment, the chasm between their two worlds seemed to shrink, replaced by a bridge of shared experiences. It was as if they were building a new reality, one where their differences were celebrated rather than feared. He was captivated by her compassion. It was a quality that seemed to radiate from her, touching everyone and everything around her. Lyra treated all creatures, great and small, with kindness and respect. Her interactions with the smallest of beings were as heartfelt as those with the most powerful, a testament to her innate sense of equality. She championed the downtrodden and spoke passionately about equality and justice. Her words were not just rhetoric, they were a call to action, a plea for a better, more just world. Her empathy knew no bounds, extending even to him, a stranger from a world she had never seen. She had an uncanny ability to understand his fears and hopes, offering comfort and solace in ways he had never experienced before. Her capacity for love, so pure and unconditional, chipped away at the wall he had built around his heart. It was a love that asked for nothing in return, a love that was given freely and without reservation. As he spent more time with Lyra, Agent X found himself wrestling with a growing sense of unease. The more he learned about her and her people, the more he questioned everything he had been taught. The Xylos he was witnessing were nothing like the enemy he had been briefed on. They were a peaceful, enlightened society, their lives a testament to the power of harmony and cooperation. Their society, built on principles of harmony and cooperation, seemed the antithesis of a threat. It was a place where differences were celebrated, where every being had a place and a purpose. Could his mission, his entire understanding of the situation, be based on a lie? The thought gnawed at him, a seed of doubt that grew with each passing day. He began to question not just his mission, but his very purpose, wondering if he had been sent to destroy something beautiful and precious. Stolen moments became the backbone of their unusual bond. In the midst of a bustling, futuristic city, they found pockets of time where they could be themselves, away from prying eyes and the weight of their respective worlds. Hidden in lush, bioluminescent gardens, they shared stories and laughter. These gardens, with their glowing flora, became their sanctuary, a place where they could escape the harsh realities of their lives and simply enjoy each other's company. He found solace in her presence, a stark contrast to the internal turmoil that raged within him. The serenity of the garden mirrored the calm she brought into his life, a calm that was desperately needed amidst the chaos of his mission. Her touch, accidental or otherwise, sent shivers down his spine. Each brush of her fingers was a reminder of the growing connection between them, a connection that was becoming harder to ignore. He was drawn to her light, her warmth, her genuine concern for his well-being. In a world where he often felt like an outsider, her acceptance and kindness were a beacon of hope. Lyra, oblivious to his internal struggle, embraced their unusual friendship. She saw him as a kindred spirit, someone who shared her curiosity and wonder about the universe. She saw in him a connection to a world she longed to understand. His stories of Earth fascinated her, and she often found herself daydreaming about the places he described. She spoke of her desire to visit Earth someday, to witness the wonders he described. The idea of traveling to a distant planet filled her with excitement and hope. Her dreams, so innocent and pure, were a painful reminder of what he was sent to destroy. The thought of shattering her dreams weighed heavily on his conscience. Their interactions were not limited to stolen moments. They explored the city together, discovering new places and sharing experiences that brought them closer. He was invited to grand halls and observed their customs. These gatherings were a window into their culture, a culture that valued harmony and respect. He learned of their deep respect for nature, their advanced technology powered by renewable energy. This society had found a way to live in balance with their environment, a stark contrast to the destructive tendencies he had witnessed elsewhere. He saw firsthand their peaceful existence, their commitment to knowledge and understanding. It was a society that thrived on cooperation and mutual respect, values that resonated deeply with him. The weight of his mission grew heavier with each passing day. The more he learned about their way of life, the more he questioned the morality of his task. How could he, in good conscience, destroy such a world? The internal conflict gnawed at him, making it increasingly difficult to stay focused on his mission. How could he betray the trust of the woman who had welcomed him with open arms? Her unwavering faith in him was a constant reminder of the bond they had formed. The conflict within him intensified, a battle between duty and his burgeoning feelings for Lyra. Each day brought new challenges, and he found himself increasingly torn between his obligations and his emotions. Sleep offered no escape. Nightmares plagued him. Visions of Xylos reduced to rubble. Lyra's anguished face burned into his memory. He woke up in a cold sweat, the weight of his mission crushing him. He was a soldier, trained to follow orders, but at what cost? He started questioning his superiors, demanding answers. The responses were vague, citing classified information and the need for secrecy. The more they evaded, the stronger his suspicion grew. Was he a pawn in a game of galactic politics, his mission based on fear rather than facts? The thought of betraying Lyra gnawed at his conscience. He was living a lie, his very presence a threat to everything she held dear. The guilt was a bitter pill to swallow, choking him with each stolen glance, each shared laugh. He found himself at a crossroads. On one hand, he had his orders, his duty to Earth. On the other hand, he had Lyra, her world, her trust. Could he sacrifice his own people to save a civilization he had come to admire? Could he live with himself if he destroyed the only woman who had ever made him question everything he thought he knew? The burden of his secret became unbearable. He knew he couldn't live with the guilt, couldn't continue to deceive Lyra. One evening, under the glow of Xylos's twin moons, he confessed everything. His voice trembled as he spoke of his mission, his orders to destroy, the fear that had driven humanity to the brink of war. Lyra listened, her silver eyes wide with disbelief and hurt. The truth, when it came out, was a poisoned arrow piercing the heart of their newfound bond. The very air around them crackled with tension, the silence deafening. He watched as her initial shock gave way to a maelstrom of emotions. Betrayal etched lines on her beautiful face, her eyes reflecting the pain of his deception. He had wounded her, shattered the trust they had so carefully built, and he hated himself for it. "Why?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. The question hung heavy in the air, a testament to the shattered remnants of their relationship. He had no answers that would justify his actions. No words that could mend the damage he had inflicted. He could only offer her the truth, as ugly and painful as it was.